So we're talking a little bit about Avid, and that's making a wild assumption that everybody understands what that means. Obviously it's a college or career readiness system that's in place.
Right.
But we're in 5th and 6th grade. So why don't you talk a little bit to me, and maybe even explain it to me a little bit more about how you're making those connections for our kids when they're thinking 7 years down the road.
Absolutely. So AVID actually stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we really instill in our kids is that it's them improving themselves through their own actions. So we talk a lot about things like grit, and we talk a lot about things like growth mindset. Right. And we get them thinking about things in the future. We have a lot of kids, especially on our campus, that will be first generation college
right.
goers.
Right.
And so we really just are starting to get them in the mindset that this is something that you can do, mm-hmm. that you don't have to say, well, just because my parents didn't go to college, I'm not going to college.
Right.
In middle school at this point, they're asked to start thinking about their pathway in high school. So they're really starting to have to think about those things sooner than we used
Sure.
to. I don't think I thought about it until my senior year.
I thought about it after I was already in college, yeah.
Right, right. One of our big visions is to have the rest of our elementary friends in our feeder pattern join us so that the kids can start being prepared in kindergarten. And so that's one of our visions.
That's awesome.
So I was just curious as to what your vision is for AVID in the district.
So whenever you're talking about a significant shift in terms of thinking about implementing something like AVID, it has got to be almost a grassroots, right. Our building wants it and here's why kind of moment. And that's what I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear back from the elementary principals to say, here's what we want, here's why we can do it, and here's the direction we would go with it if given the opportunity, because that's what makes it happen. Yeah. Anything that we do with AVID, because it's an amazing system that can be used.
For sure.
I would want it to be a truly authentic reason for wanting to do it, and not a mandate. And I think that's where we've seen a lot of the success with AVID specifically.
The sooner they can start thinking about it and envisioning themselves as college students or in a career, the better off they're going to be. And then, building in those skills so that they really believe that they can do anything that they set their mind to.